Right, not a lot going on, really, to show you. Can't remember if I've shown you this before. Isn't it gorgeous? Some friends of ours came over for a meal 3 or 4 weeks ago and bought this as a gift. It's beautiful, isn't it? And I potted it on into a terracotta pot. It doesn't like all this rain to keep pulling off the dead ones like that. And it got battered a little bit in the rain, but these have died. 6 of them out of 9 have died. One of the other ones is here and doesn't look very well, but it has a flower on it. And there's 2 others, I'll show you around there, that they're looking alright. So I think it's just the amount of rain. They don't like it at all. Tomatoes, we've got plenty, but they're just not going red because we've had no sun. It's the usual problem we've had all year. Too much rain, not enough sun, too much wind. These are very slowly growing, but there's no sign of flowers. I mean, these should be in full bloom now. Geraniums. The hair on the camera. Yeah, but they're at least looking reasonably healthy, so I shall bob them into the greenhouse over winter and see what happens. That's something else I'm very disappointed in. I've planted some biennials for next year in the greenhouse, and this is what I've got. One tiny seed just come up there today, and that's it, nothing. I've got Honesty, I've got Forget-Me-Nots, not Forget-Me-Nots, Foxgloves and Wallflowers. Nothing. Nothing at all, which is very disappointing. But I also put some of them, just scattered them in a pot that I had that was empty, a pot of compost outside, and they're coming up. So, don't know. These have been lovely. These are what I grew from seed. Lovely daisies and poppies, and yeah, they've been really nice. Again, got a bit battered by the wind and rain. My rose, my wonderful Bring Me Sunshine rose, had 2 flowers on it when it arrived, and they've been and gone and finished, gone over. We got back from our holiday last week, and we've got all these buds. Look at that, isn't it gorgeous? There's some buds, and then there's another one here, and there's some buds as well behind it coming. So that was very exciting. Agapanthus, which I didn't think was going to flower, that I repotted 18 months ago and split it and repotted it. It didn't flower last year, but it's flowering this year, so that's really good. Really pleased with that. Most things in here are finished now. This isn't growing much. This is my fuchsia that I'm growing, you know, that I picked up at the flower festival. I need to grow it on and take it back in September. It's grown, it's bigger, but it's... And these at the side, these are California poppies I grew myself. And they're not doing anything. I've got 3 healthy dahlias, and the 2 from last year, this is one, which was, it's the Cafe au Lait one. It looks very poorly, doesn't it? Doesn't look well at all. So that's obviously not doing very well. This one's looking quite healthy. That might be a flower coming, I'm not sure. Might be flowering. This one also looks healthy, but there's no flowers. This one, we have bugs, we have bugs. Yeah, something's eaten that leaf, you know, but I don't mind eating the leaves, as long as it leaves the flowers alone. So don't grow it for the leaves. So yeah, my first ever dahlias. I'm so excited to see them open. Just hope they don't get eaten. And then this is the other Cafe au Lait that I grew from last year, which is also looking a little bit sad. It's just, well, it's just not growing. It's not progressing at all. But these have done. These have... How tall they are. Vena bonariensis, I love it. Beautiful, isn't it? So that's all in flower now, which is lovely. Which is a lovely contrast. It's actually raining, can you believe it? Spitting. It's spitting. Thought we might get a whole day without any rain, but no. Look at this lavender. Look at the colour. It's stunning, isn't it? Beautiful. But again, we have got bees in our garden. And a lot of people have been saying there's no bees. We have got bees, but not as many as we should have at this time of year. This would normally be covered in bees. You would hear it before you saw it. And there isn't a one that I can see at the moment because they think it's autumn. They've probably all gone into hibernation. It's so cold. We're supposed to be getting a warmer spell next week. So whether they'll come out again, I don't know. This is finally flowering, Potentilla. I mean, yesterday it was 14 degrees. It felt like November. I nearly put the little fire on in the conservatory. I'm sat there with a blanket on and it's July. Not a bee in sight. Not a bee. The geraniums have been nice. They've liked the water, they've liked the rain. The geraniums. They like moisture, I think, don't they? We cut this back. I've shown you it since I cut it back. After it finished flowering, cut it right back, so it's a lot neater now, a lot better. So we'll do that every time. Oh, bee, 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 bee. Hey, Mr. Bumble. Thank goodness. So you're going to go on the lavender and tell all your friends it's not time to go to bed yet? Thank goodness for that. These poppies just came from the birds and they've been fabulous. He likes them, obviously. A Rudbeckia is coming late in the summer. Camellia's still looking well. The Japanese anemones. I saw some last week down in the Cotswolds and they were in full flower. I've got buds coming, but no flowers. I had to do something with this yesterday, this clematis, because I had a bird feeder hanging there and I've had to move it because this pigeon, huge big fat pigeon, kept landing on the clematis and it sagged and pulled it away from the fence so he could get onto the feeder. So I've had to repin it to the fence and a lot of dead leaves and bits of branches that got broken off. So anyway, I've managed to tidy it up a little bit. And our new Cotinus is, yeah, well, it's fine. I think it's grown a bit. It's looking healthy, which is the main thing. These geums have been gorgeous. Really nice. Don't they look nice against the speckled pulmonaria at the back? That's my sister gave me. They're lovely, aren't they? This will need to tidy up. This lavender that I grew from the cutting. The trouble is, if I do cut it back, well, I shall have to risk it because I can always take another cutting. I'm likely to go back into the dead wood and it might not come back. Choice is fabulous. I know it doesn't flower, but it's just beautiful, isn't it? And I pruned the Lavatera. I cloud pruned it and made it a bit smaller to give this room to spread, which it has done, but disaster. That's the Lavatera. That's all that's left. It was tall, it was full of flowers, it looked beautiful, absolutely stunning. And while we were away last week, they had a lot more rain and strong wind here, very strong wind. And when we got back, it was hanging over the front of here onto the grass. And I thought, oh gosh, what's happened to my Lavatera? I found it just needs pegging, you know, put a big stake in and peg it back. And when I came to look, it had completely, about at least halfway through, it sheared off. So we had to get a saw to it. So that was sad. So I'm hoping it'll come back. I don't know if it will, but I'm hoping it will. Failing that, then we've got space here for another big shrub. So I managed to cut some of the branches off and put them in a vase so we could enjoy them for a little while. And they were lovely. But yeah, sad. There's room for this to spread now. There's buttercups at the back. Don't hate me, I like buttercups and I do leave them to, just in this area, I leave them to spread a little bit, do their own thing. I might have to pull them back a little bit because they are encroaching. That's my Aquilegia. And there is a, yeah, it's going a bit, getting covered by this. I'll have to have a go with that, get rid of some of that buttercup. It's starting to smother my little azalea that's there. And on here, Buddleia. That was a cutting, a branch that broke off, and I just stuck it in a pot, and that's what it's doing now, so that's good. This is filling up nicely. The heucheras are gorgeous, aren't they? Beautiful. And this coreopsis is covered in buds. one got broken off one stem, so again that's in a vase with some sweet peas. But yeah, it's looking good. And these are the oxeye daisies I grew from seed, and they're doing alright as well. This is flowering again, look, this clematis amandiite. Thinks it's February. Mind you, it feels like February sometimes. Everything else is pretty much the same, I think, round here. Oh, I finally got flowers on my salvia. Some blue flowers on there. And I've got a few, and they've come through as they should do, look, hot lips. So that's good. And this is flowering, which smells gorgeous. It's kind of viburnum. My lupin did have a little bedraggled flower on it, but it wasn't brilliant. I'll stick it back in the greenhouse over winter, I think. Hydrangea's been lovely. The Philadelphuses have all been fab, and they've gone over now. I've just given this one's had a little bit of a haircut, but it's finished now. Some flowers I grew from seed. Some of the annuals looking a little bit ragged, but it's got a nice big flower head on it. These are my daughter's beans. She's got loads of flowers on, but no beans. They're doing better than my other beans, though. Typically. Ooh, hello. You're nice. Grew these from seed. This one's out. This lovely sunflower. Beautiful. But they're not doing very well. I accepted to stock. This is a nice pot as well that I managed to do. The zinnias are still there. That's a zinnia. There's no sign of a flower. It's got a nice big flower head on it, look. And these are the two that actually look healthy. Dianthus. And I've got buds on and look green. So I don't know why, because they've been all treated the same. This is the pot where I just scattered some of those biennials. Look. I don't know why they're doing well there and they're not doing well in the greenhouse. The sweet peas have all flopped over to one side, but I've had 2 lots of them now, and there's a few more to pick, so they're doing all right. That's the main thing, I suppose, isn't it? Wisteria's finished flowering now. Strawberries, again, lots of them, but they're very, very slow to redden up. No sun. That's probably the reddest. The onions that are in there are doing okay, I think. Got all the rain we've had, just to prove my point. This is since Saturday last week, and we've had just short of 1.5 inches of rain in less than a week. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? Now the potatoes, these 2 pots have been harvested now. That's where we had the first early potatoes, if you remember. And you may also remember we did an experiment. And this pot, the first pot, we rubbed off the small chits before we planted the seed potatoes. And the second pot we didn't, we just planted them as they were, to see if it made a difference. Because I'd heard a rumour, or somebody said, some gardener had said, if you rub the chits off, potatoes you'll get less potatoes, but they'll be bigger. If you leave them on, your potatoes will be smaller, but you might get more. So it's a personal taste. So I thought I'll try it as an experiment. Makes no difference whatsoever in our experience. We got roughly the same amount of potatoes in both. Now the second pot, it was slightly bigger, but I think that was mainly because they were harvested 2 weeks later than the first pot. I don't think it had anything to do with chits, to be quite honest. That's looking nice now. I still call it Crocosmia Montbretia, and I think it's changed its name again, and I don't know what the new name is for it, but anyway, what's in a name? It's beautiful, isn't it? The peas, we've had 1 lot off. We didn't get many, but there's quite a lot more to come, as you can see. Quite a lot of flowers at the top still to come, but they've got blown by the wind as well. I'm thinking of not having TPs next year, because this is a very windy part of the garden, and I may just go for things like broad beans that I can just put stakes in. I'll see, because this is working fine. These are my Brussels sprouts. They're just staked with big stakes, and so far they're doing okay. But the carrots, they're doing amazing. I haven't harvested any yet, but they are crowning, is that the right word? At the bottom. I don't think it'll show on camera. I don't know if you'll be able to see Oh no, that certainly can't when that leaf goes like that, can you? Can you see a bit of orange? Sort of there. That's the carrots crowning. So I'm leaving them as long as I can. But the sprouts are looking fabulous. That's Christmas dinner sorted. Whenever we eat it, we'll go with sprouts in hand. And even the sweet corn is starting to come, I think. I've never grown it, you see. I don't know what it should look like. But that looks as if it could well be a cob coming. If you know better than me, please let me know. What's that? I don't know, but it's not staying on there. So yeah, so they're looking really good. The beans are all at the top. All the flowers are. The bottom's looking quite sparse. Well, the bean, look at the peas at the bottom. Normally you can't see the soil. But there's no flowers at all at the bottom. They're all at the top. So, you know, they say pinch out the tops when they reach the top of the wigwam. Well, if I did that, I wouldn't have any flowers. It's nearly all the flowers are here on the bit that I would be taking off. So, I'm leaving it alone. Leaving it alone. If in doubt, do nout. That's what I say. And that's about it, really. We're due to harvest these second earlies. As you can see, anytime I cut down the foliage because they were all yellow. So I'm going to do I was going to put it all on one vlog, but I think I'll do a second vlog about our holidays and put some. We didn't do any filming. It's quite busy everywhere, but I took lots of photographs, so I'll probably just put a few still photographs, like a montage of photographs of some of the lovely gardens we saw, and put the name of where we went on the screen, so hopefully you can get some ideas if you're visiting the area soon. I've put these back on here now. I thought they're meant to be on here, these auriculas. And yeah, they're looking okay. So I didn't know what else to put on there. So I put them on there. And as I say, I put the diamonds on the other one. I'm beginning to think it's that little stand that they don't like. Whatever I seem to put on that little stand doesn't do very well. So, well, these are nice. Different. Look at the cornflowers next to the daisies. They're lovely, aren't they? And then you get a little rogue poppy in amongst. Yeah. So I think all in all, it's not looking bad considering what a horrendous year we've had. Oh, Jessie's roses are finished for now. She had lots. Might get some more yet. But yeah, I was thinking about planting leeks. I was going to plant some leeks for winter. Oh, I've left my coffee on here. It's going to be cold. But I don't know if I'm going to bother, to be honest. I really don't know whether I'm going to be bothered. You know, I wanted something to overweight. I'm at Hussey. I don't need to do it now. I could wait till September, October. Once the beans and the peas are finished, I'll take the wigwams down. I'll get up to beds. I might put some rugs in. But you just lose all interest in it when it's been such a bad year. I hope this isn't going to be the pattern every year. We're going to have constant rain. Yeah, everything's green, and it does save you a lot of trouble watering, I have to admit, because I'd have to do a lot of watering with all these pots. But yeah, I need to come out in the garden more to just lift my mood a little bit, because I'm a bit... we had a general election last week. I'm not going down that rabbit hole, and I'm not going to do politics on this channel. There's enough people who do politics, and I don't claim to know enough about politics really to do anything like that. But suffice it to say, we had an election and the government won by a landslide, the current government. But the interesting thing is, I read a statistic, which boggled my mind actually. 80% of the people who live in this country did not vote for the current government. Yeah, let that sink in for a few minutes. 80% didn't vote for them. So they haven't got a mandate to be the government. Our stupid system, this first past the post system that we have, it's just totally unfair. I mean, I've been thinking it for years, to be fair, it isn't just recently. It's just crazy. If apparently they got less votes than they got at the last election that they lost. And you've parties getting lots of votes and hardly any seats, and then other parties who didn't have many votes really but got more seats, and it's just crazy. Totally crazy. Doesn't make sense to me. But there you go. that's the system we've got, and there's nothing I can do about it, to be quite honest. So yeah, I was a bit down after last week, and had a lovely holiday. Don't get me wrong, that was gorgeous. But the day after the election, excuse me, the day after the election was the day we came home. So I was doubly depressed. So yeah, I need to do less watching things on YouTube and more getting out, doing my garden, or doing other things that will take my mind off the clown world that we're living in at the moment. But hey, on a cheery note, I've rambled on for 20 minutes now. So as I say, and that's not to mention the bit I did at the beginning. It's going to be quite a long video, is this? So I shall call it a day, and I shall do a separate montage of photos over the weekend, and hopefully get up another video beginning of next week. Okay, have a lovely weekend, everybody. Bye.